Aquarius, this is your tarot reading for May. Certainly some stuff going on. I'm not surprised because March and April have been tumultuous months for all signs. There's stuff going on in the world. Change, major change going on in the world, and I think your May reading is a reflection of that. But I need to keep an open mind. I mean, if we look at that central card, that's is it the 7 or the 6 of Swords? It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Swords. And it's about moving on, and it's about dumping baggage. And now the baggage that you need to dump appears to be a broken heart from the past. I think that's it. I think that's what you need to move on from. Bottom right hand corner, 3 of Hearts. And your current energy is that of the Lovers. Does this mean there's a new love? It could do, but I think it's more meaning that this broken heart from a love is dominating your thinking still. The future energy is that of the Knight of Swords. You searching out information, you searching out something new. But unfortunately, the energy impacting on the outcome is the 5 of Pentacles. I call it the card of poverty. It could be a lack of money, a loss of money. It could be no mates. Now, I do think a lot of people are going to lose money or lose wealth during March and April. So it could be about global events. Now, what would change the outcome is you getting your act together, you sorting out your mind, getting a sense of direction and moving there quickly. But I'm not certain that's the right thing to do. You see, the outcome is the 7 of Pentacles, which is a card of charity. And I get the feeling, and I've had this for a few signs, that despite March and April people potentially losing money, that ultimately somehow they're going to get this money back through unlikely sources, and I think that's what that might be about. Clearly we need to really unpack this, so I hope you'll stay around to hear how this reading evolves. Is it entirely personal? Is it about world events? Or most likely it's the interplay of the two. Now, as I've said, the overall theme running through it, and it's an energy that impacts on everything, is that of you needing to move on. I mean, 2023 is a year of massive, massive change for us all. But I've got to say, it looks as though you need to move on from a broken heart, which does look to be a broken heart from a lover. And you need to put this behind you, you need to move on, and you need to dump the baggage. However, as I say, keep saying, is this about the interplay of world events and personal things? Is it that you're carrying with you this broken heart, and this is making the other changes that are going on in your life so much more difficult to bear? I do think that might be the explanation for it. I'm not sure. I mean, you look at it, they're crossing that lake, so that is about moving on and the need to move on. And you're probably aware of it, but what you're probably not aware of is that almost certainly in that boat you have or punt, isn't it? It's a punt, yeah. You have a bag that you need to throw overboard. And I think you're not entirely aware of that. You think you're moving on, but you're not getting rid of the baggage. That's what I think it is. What is it you need to move on from? Well, in the recent past, we have a broken heart, 3 of Swords. I mean, it's a broken heart, definitely is. You need to move on from this broken heart. And now, I think this broken heart is a personal broken heart, that somebody you loved has moved away from you. That's what it feels like to me. And it's turned your world upside down, and all you can focus on is this broken heart. Now, I always say with this card, it's only a minor arcana, it's only a 3, it shouldn't last. And then I say, but, you know, I suffered from a broken heart for about 30 years. So it does shape our lives, you know. I mean, many people can get over it quickly, but I didn't, and maybe you can't either, Aquarius. And that's really where the problem lies with this broken heart. And you need to meditate, you need to understand that. Not let this dominate your life anymore, because I think it's spilling out into every area of your life. I think that's what the problem is for you. Now, why do I think this broken heart is about love? Well, we have the Lover's card here. I mean, this could be a new love that comes into your life. You had a broken heart, you find somebody on the rebound. That's the most likely explanation of it. Well, I've just got the feeling that it's telling us, no, what's playing on your mind is this broken heart, and it was about love. And it felt like a divine love. Sun was shining down it, there's an angel above their heads, they've got nothing to hide, you know, they like Adam and Eve, aren't they? Well, they are Adam and Eve, you know, only their flowers to hold their modesty. There is on this rendering something known as a Gunungan, which is a Wayang character in the middle of them, and that represents the known side, the unknown side, and the hidden side. Is that profound? I've no idea. Something hidden, that could be it. The unknown and the hidden, yeah. Interesting reading, Aquarius. So in your future we have the Ace of Swords. Now this could be that you get some information. Some information comes to you that begins to explain things to you. Does it explain things about your relationship, this love? I mean, could you begin to understand that maybe you're attached to a psychopath? There's no other indication of that, but, you know, it's an explanation. Do you get information on what's happening in the world because the world is seeming unfathomable to you? Or is it that you're seeking out information because things are just becoming so bizarre? So bizarre not only in terms of your life, but in terms of everything that's going on at the moment. I find that more compelling, but, you know, I don't know at this stage. But information is important in the future. Now, the energy that impacts on the outcome isn't a card I like to see, and particularly not here. It's the Five of Pentacles, and normally associated with poverty or no mates. But it's often quite a psychological card. Do you remember I said how the Three of Swords, which was the broken heart, was psychological? It's only a minor arcana. It doesn't need to last, although often these feelings of poverty do last, just as a broken heart lasts. And, you know, it's no good saying to you, snap out of it. And why are you feeling like you're in poverty? Is it to do with a broken relationship? Is that the reason? I mean, what I've got to say is that during April and March and April, a good many signs are going to lose money. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean poverty. It just means a loss of money. But, you know, if that plays on your mind, then of course that could have an identical effect on you, couldn't it? And it leads to the outcome, and I think the outcome's a good outcome. Whereas if you're feeling in poverty, then you will be attracting bad luck, you will be attracting poverty. So I don't fully understand it just yet. Now, what would change the outcome? I find that little bit surprising. Given that the poverty card, which I think is a state of mind, leads to the outcome. The thing that would change it is I think I called it a 7 before. It's an eight of wands. This is you getting some direction, getting your ducks in a row and moving quickly. So it's almost the poverty is that you're doom and gloom, which would attract bad luck to you. And this is you being positive and doing something, being in your strength almost. But given that I think the outcome's a good outcome, this changes it. Why would that be? I don't know. I think there's a danger. Remember we had the Ace of Swords, the information. Maybe there's a danger of you getting hold of some information and running with it, and that does the wrong thing. Now again, we don't know if this is entirely personal or if it's linked to world events, but if it's linked to world events, I think people are, and there has been indications in the past that people are in danger of doing entirely the wrong thing based on information that they think is going on. So that could be investing in cryptocurrency, that could be investing in gold. For goodness sake, I'm not giving you financial advice here, I'm just giving examples of you being panicked into doing things and they could be the wrong things. Could be to do with your love though, might have nothing to do with that sort of thing. Because you see, the outcome is the Six of Pentacles. I think I might have called that a 7 as well. Six of Pentacles, card of charity. Now, we don't know if this is you being charitable or you receiving charity, but I've got the distinct impression it's you receiving charity. And yet again, other signs this has been happening. There's been a loss of money over the last few months, and money has come in from unexpected sources. I don't know where from, but people have lost money and they've gained money. And this is what it feels like to you. Did you lose some money in... it feels like it's all connected to this love. So, maybe you lost out as a result of somebody leaving you and somehow the tables get turned. Or is it global things and there were some financial investments you lost money on and it was all doom and gloom and suddenly you get recompense for it? I honestly don't know. We've got to unpack this poverty card, don't we? Yeah. I've already told you I'm going to get clarity on this poverty card. And the first card really does suggest to me that it's a mental state, it's your perception, because it's the Five of Cups, it's the card of despair. The next card we have is the Two of Cups, which is about love, a new love. Do you remember we had the Lover's card, and I thought that you were still dwelling on your broken heart from the past. Maybe a new love does come. And it's a rebound. It doesn't have to be. It still could be to do with the old love. But it is suggesting that this love is around this feeling of, it could be poverty. Remember, it could also be no friends. So maybe you were a couple, as it were, and everybody's sided with them. And the final card is you walking away in disillusionment. And remember, the whole thing is about you dumping the baggage, you moving on and dumping the baggage, which is what you've got to do. I think it is the old love. I don't think it's a new love. Yeah, it's the old love. Okay, let's look at each individually now. First card of clarity, the Five of Cups. It is a depressing card. It is. It's about you being depressed. You look at him, he's slumped on that bar. Is it 2 or 3 glasses? Well, he's probably had many more glasses of wine, hasn't he? Slumped on the bar, and the barmaid's going, I want to close, bugger off, haven't you got home to go to? And he's going, no. It's a card of absolute despair. So There's despair in the Three of Hearts, the broken heart, and there's despair in the Five of Pentacles, which this is confirming. You've got yourself into this cycle, and believe me, I've been in them. This cycle of thinking, how am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get out of this? You know, I've got to have this to do this, and this to do this, and this to do this. Nobody else can do it for you, my friend. You have to do it yourself. And it's no good me saying snap out of it. It's no good me telling you to snap out of it, because only when you're ready to do it will you do it. But you do it. That's the great thing I need to tell you. And the next card is the Two of Cups. Of course it is Two of Cups. A soulmate, a new and divine love. Or is it new? I mean, it could be new, because we've got the Lovers coming after the broken heart, so love on the rebound. Do you think you find a soulmate and you actually found a narcissist who's taken your money? It's possible. It's possible. I somehow don't think it is. I think this is the original love. And I think as a result of it breaking up, you're feeling all alone. You're feeling you have no money. You're seeing them as the solution. If only you could get back together with them. When really, I think everything is indicating the problems are all your own. And it's for you to rediscover yourself and overcome them. Do you remember we had that 8, or was it a 7 of 8? Yeah, 8 of Wands. And I said, if you could only find direction. Well, if you could find a direction, then that would be it would be a good thing. You perhaps wouldn't need this charity that's coming, but some charity is coming to you. We know that's the outcome. Yeah. And the final card of clarity is you walking away. You getting disillusioned, yes, but walking away. And that fits in with the... yes, of course. That fits in with the overall energy, which is about you moving on and dumping baggage. Well, this is you definitely moving on. And do you know what I think was wrong about that 8 of Wands, you finding direction? That direction was you seeing the direction as if only you could get this person back. And this is saying, no, just move on, just move on. Move on in your life, dump the baggage and start creating what you need to do for yourself. And as soon as you are more positive, you're going to attract money, and you're going to attract everything that you think has been desperate and you've been unable to attract. Gosh, Aquarius, we can summarise for you. We really can. Aquarius, I mean, a lot of people are going to lose money in March and April. I don't know if you're one of them. I don't know if if global events are affecting you or not. They certainly could be, but what predominates is there was a love in the past that broke your heart. Now, it might not even be a lover, it might be just somebody that you loved, but your heart's broken. There is a suggestion they're a lover, but you know, it's somebody you loved deeply. And I don't think they're with you anymore. And you see them as the answer out of what you perceive to be your poverty, what you perceive to be your sordid, I'm putting it too strongly there, sordid life, your life without no mates and your life without no money, and if only they came back, they'd solve everything. And you're hanging on to them, thinking that that's your solution. And you know, if you might even get the bit between your teeth and say, I'm going to go all out to get them back, but I think that's going to fail. Because the solution lies within yourself. What you're failing to recognise is that you need to move on. You need to dump the baggage. You need to become more positive in yourself, and if you are, you will begin to attract exactly what you perceive that you're missing in your life. It'll start coming to you once you, and I don't want to say snap out of it because that's a dreadful way of saying it, but once you have striven to get yourself out of this, things are going to get a lot better for you. And I know you shouted, oh, it's all right, you could use, but no, I've been in these positions, I have. There is some information coming to you. Whether or not that information explains this to you, well, it must do. It's some information in the future that's coming to you that I think explains to you that your problems are entirely within yourself, which, you're not going to like knowing, Aquarius. I know, I understand, I do. But they are. You've been blaming it on this person. And so many of us go through our lives blaming everything on others. And let's face it, often others are to blame, but it's no good doing it because you've got to do something positive for yourself, Aquarius. You really do.